What's going on this morning, family? A few people asked me about my welding and hip hop concept, why I created, what's the true meaning behind it, why do I hashtag it. Basically, welding and hip hop is a hashtag that I created. That way, I could show my interest and my love for both the trade of welding and the skill of hip hop, the ability to create your own melodies and songs and to create your own concepts and put them into lyrics. And I enjoy the hip hop beats and the bass lines and things like that. So to me, coming to you with welding and hip hop is coming to you not only as an artist, but as an artist who love to produce things out of metal and produce things out of lyrics and songs. And I just used it from my own personal experience because I was raised in the hip hop 80 in the hip hop era. So I'm an 80 baby. I was born in 1980, so I was raised on hip hop and blues, and I enjoy both. You know what I mean? R&B, hip hop, blues. I enjoy all of those genres, but I am a hip hop head, and so when I come to you, I like to talk to my hip hop babies, those who actually enjoy um, listening to hip hop, those who like to create it, those who just like to ride around and get their thoughts. And a lot of us know that hip hop is our thing. We created hip hop. Black people, we created hip hop. That's our thing. And we know that hip hop has been pretty much stolen from us, just like rock and roll was stolen from us. So do your research on that. And we know who's making majority of the money now. So we have to learn about ownership. And as I was getting into the hip hop industry, I took a lot of false stumbling blocks because I didn't understand the industry. I didn't understand what I was getting myself into, but I wanted to maintain my independence, and I did. I didn't sign any contracts. I could have signed a couple. I didn't. I just stayed my independence, man. I spent money without knowing what I was doing, and then I had to learn later how to actually things done that I was really trying to do. And I had to use welding. I used welding to finance my album called Live to Be Remember. That manipulation, I think at least a few me coming Chasing Vanity. And Chasing Vanity is on YouTube and CD Baby, a lot of different places that you listen to. And then now, I have a Pandora, but they don't necessarily have a station, a channel. So if you go look up, you can go look up me and then put in Black Feniks, Feniks, and you will see my channel. So I have independent records, and it took me a minute just to get that done. Like I don't make a lot off of that right now, just off of screaming, but I do make money. What I mean? I had paid a phone bill. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. So I can't say nothing major, but I have done another something with it. But it's starting to grow. But I had to learn the independence of it. So I used welding to fund it and to actually get me a product. Now I have some royalties that I actually can build up, and if things get to going, which you never know, that's something I can pass down. And I'm gonna continue to drop videos, hip hop videos, because that's what I mean. I'm a hip hop guy, and to me, I express myself through hip hop. So through lyrics, it's easy for me to express myself other than through books. But I'm working on a book now, and I actually want to title my book "Welding and Hip Hop" by Black Phoenix because a lot of people are familiar with the welding and hip hop and the hard on welding movement. So I want to make it easier for people to find it because it's going to be an ebook first. So for those who shop on ebooks, stay in tune for Welding and Hip Hop by Black Phoenix. Pretty much going to tell you my story, how I got into it, how I created it, some links of different people that supported it, people who helped me get more exposure. So it's going to be one of those things where I can be able to, hold on for a second, I have a bad connection. I'll be able to show you how I got started and how I use my hip hop to find my independence. And I'm steady learning like daily. So as I learn things, I drop videos, archives. That way, not only I can go back and be like, man, I remember that, because I gain information from the stuff that I go back, even though I drop it random. Sometimes I can go back and still get a word for myself. So, I want to drop archives that way my brothers and sisters who are coming up young or older who looking for a better direction, we can be able to take something back. You know what I mean? Hip hop was ours. It got stolen. Welding is their trade. Welding is what it is. It is a white man's trade. It is a Caucasian trade, and we're using that trade, and we're going to get finances, and we're going to build businesses off of that trade. It's the same way they use, hip hop to make money. Let's use their trade to make money. That's the way I look like. I want to teach mine independence in it. From my approach is, I'm teaching that you don't have to go to school. You don't have to get a GED. You don't have to go in debt. Like my approach is a lot unorthodox. My welding approach and how my teaching style is. So listening to me is going to be unorthodox, going to be different. So when you do, make sure keep in mind that you are listening to a testimony from a black welder who was raised in the hood in the ghetto. So my approach and the way I look at things is going to be a little different, and I'm just going to show you my personal experiences. You know what I mean? Like, um, I'm not going to water anything down. I'm not going to lie or fabricate anything to make it seem bigger than what it is. I'm just going to tell you the truth and the way I faced it and what I did and how I overcome. And I think that we need more examples like that. Just somebody just to give us an example of a realistic example that we can actually do this. But we have to educate ourselves. We have to constantly learn. Like we have to pay for the education. See, we don't mind paying for the image, looking good in the clothing, Jordans, um, nice gear. I don't want to even mention them their names to even give them any recognition, but you know what I mean. The gear and the clothes that we like to spend our money on of other companies and brands, and we don't want to even shop with our own people. So I want to show us how to build some wealth. And nothing wrong with shopping and doing that, but show how to build your own independence. That's what I want to do with welding and hip hop because for our people, we spend a lot of money. Um, we the number one spenders. Like they look for us for everything from hair products, from clothing products, from vehicles, from luxury items, you name it, health items, you know what I mean? So we have to take some type of independence back, and people are afraid of physical trades, physical work, and they think like it's played out or oh man, I need an office job. But you have an office job. I know many people with office jobs that ain't getting no money. Like they spend more than their money on their outfits and clothes that look good and to pull up at the office, but they broke. They going through some drama. Like they still got a boss. Like I think if us as a black people gonna really be free, we have to learn how to be independent. We have to learn how to start our own businesses, and I think that's going to be a plus. If you want to stay working for people, that's not an issue. I can at least help you get some good money and teach you some principles on how to be comfortable and actually win that way too. Because however you want to win, just win. But I just want to show you a different approach. I want to show you independence with welding because welding and hip hop, both of those are big. Both of those are big paying, um, $1 billion industries. No BS. So if we can tap into both of them and use them however we can use them to build our independence, let's do it. So for those who do love hip hop, like I love hip hop, I keep my radio with me everywhere I go. You know what I mean? I'm like the old school guy with the radio on the shoulder. You know what I mean? So now, I haven't switched it up. I remember I grew up in that era where we carried the boom box. You know what I mean? And we rapped off of instrumental beats and we listened to songs and we rapped off of them. Like I grew up to that, and it was just motivating to be around the homies and just come up with something just to chill, to motivate us, to give us um, some type of peace of tranquility. Even though we was in the hood, in the ghetto, in the projects, we could take our minds somewhere else for that moment. We could like, yeah, I could live like Snoop Dogg. I could live like so and so for a moment. Whereas I too short as I do this record, Scarface. You know what I mean? I can live like Tupac. For the second in this song, I felt where he was coming from. So I wanted to deliver that. And my hip hop, I wanted to be able to be an artist that just expresses where I come from, how I feel about whatever, and not being in the box. Everybody is different. Everybody is different. Hip hop is different. Hip hop for dancing, for thinking, for just, feeling good. And I think that we shouldn't knock it just because we don't like a certain style. I like it all, to each his own. I don't, listen to everything, but I like hip hop, so I'm a supporter regardless. You know what I mean? So young or old, but I want to use welding because welding is a trade that we can get great finances, and we can use welding to help us with our hip hop, or we can use welding to create businesses from hip hop businesses, because businesses are being built around hip hop, business are being built around welding, and those two great things that we can tap into and try to take back. You know how they say, it's an old song growing up in the Christian community. Growing up, we used to say, I went to the enemy's camp and I took back what he stole from me. I think now is the time that we as a black culture got to go back and start taking back what the enemy stole. You know, even with the Black Lives Movement right now, and people coming together all over the country, every 50 states rallying, rioting over Black Lives Matters in a positive way. Now you see negative images, but I'm talking in a positive way. We're coming together, waking up as a people, and I just feel like we just got to be more than awoke. We got to be conscious. We got to gain control of our finances, gain control of our money, start having control of our communities, start investing in our communities, start actually owning something. And I just want to do my part. And I'm just doing my part with welding hip hop because I'm from that era. So I can at least teach you a trade. I can teach you how to turn a trade into a business because that's to me, that's what I specialize in. That's what I did. I turned a welding trade into a welding business. And so if I can do it looking like the way I'm looking, and that's why I never switched it up, never took my goal out, never took my beard off. Like I'm gonna stay where I'm from. I'm gonna represent my culture till I die. Because I want you to see someone that looks like you, looks like someone that you probably think that couldn't do it, who did it, who's doing it, and giving examples that way you might can do it better than me. But I got some principles. I got some tools you can use that can take you to another level. So the way I look at it is we got to help one another right now. And I just want to do it by using welding and hip hop, man. I just want to do it by using two things that I'm passionate, I'm real passionate about. I'm passionate about music, welding. I'm passionate about hip hop, and I haven't, I have had my dilemmas where I wanted to throw both of them away. But I realized that if it's in you, it's in you. You just have to figure out the way to make it benefit you, the way to make it benefit your movement and what you're doing. You just got to make it benefit you. So all I want to say to you before I get up out of here this morning, um, find your way, find your piece, find your niche, and build off of it. But don't get intimidated and don't think that you got to go by the system way of doing things because you don't. We're gonna break that myth with welding and hip hop. Black Phoenix, I'm out.